I know some of you are losing faith in my booking abilities because I do try to book people that are helpful and that are doing things in the world, because I don't really do political talk radio anymore, but certainly I want to reach out to people any way I can, because a lot of us are experiencing the same type of frustrations and anger and problems. And I haven't always batted 1,000 with guests, but we try to do what we can, and I'm hoping today we'll sort of renew your faith in my ability, because today I found a gentleman who is doing something that I think is very compassionate and very community service oriented. My guest today is Michael Garvey. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. That's quite a lead-in.
Yeah. Let me just tell people my understanding. Now, your organization is Homebound Buddies.
Homebound Buddies. That's right.
And you are basically providing. It's not like Meals on Wheels. It's not you're not delivering goods, but you're what is the agenda? I mean, what do you do?
I like to say it's a lifeline through the phone to the lost souls of L.A.
Oh, so it's primarily L.A. right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I live in L.A. and I can call obviously anywhere, but a lot of the people that I end up calling are people who are in the Los Angeles area.
So this is only a phone service,
It is a phone service,
okay.
Yeah.
So now, what is it exactly? I mean, what you deal with people who are homebound?
Yeah. I guess I'll give you a little backstory if that's okay.
Yeah.
I was a bit of I don't know, outcast, I guess, as a young boy, and I never fit in, and I went through a period where I was a shut-in by my own choice. The other kids didn't really like me, and for whatever reason, I was weird. I wasn't really weird, but they thought I was weird. And,
yeah.
And so I had to get myself out of that and feel normal. And I read a U.S. Census the other day. There's 1.3 million people in this country that could be categorized as shut-in or homebound. Now, that's a lot of people who are feeling like I did as a teenager. And it really hit me as like, well, am I going to live in my house in the valley and just take care of myself, or am I going to reach out to the people who went through something that I know? Right.
Well, now homebound can mean a lot of things. It can mean people with disabilities. It can mean people with sicknesses. But I, from what I understand you saying, is that yours was a mental issue primarily.
It was a self-imposed. I mean, I definitely I could walk and I could go to school if I wanted to, but I isolated and I wouldn't leave the house for months at a time.
Yeah,
because I would be ridiculed or teased, and just simply reading, like there were other people throughout history, and even on the internet, there's other people like me who felt like they were alone, and you know what, I wasn't alone.
Right.
And all things pass.
Sure.
And I think encouragement, just through friends, authors, and people on the internet.
What about your family? Your family?
My family, my mother helped me, but she, in some ways, enabled me. To, she encouraged me to stay home.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did not go to college until I was 25.
Oh, and
so I spent from like 18 to 25 at home.
Really?
Yeah, it was a dark time, and I would stay in my room for, long periods of time, and somehow hope found me.
Right.
Through the roof of my mother's house.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about how this works, and who do you reach out to? How does that work?
Sure. Well, like you said before, a lot of people who are homebound or shut-ins are the aged. There's a huge aging population in this country. Some people have panic disorders or agoraphobia, and they're unable, and there's no support system. So what I started doing is when I decided to create Homebound Buddies, my own non-for-profit, is I said, I'm just going to get 10 phone numbers. And I went down to the local church that's right on my corner, and I said, are there any people that you deliver Meals on Wheels, or any people that you need to reach out to? And I called them, and I think I talked to 7 of them in one night. And I didn't really have an approach. And then I've done it for 6 months now, and over the months I've developed like a questionnaire where I don't try to get people out of their house. I really just try to tell them they're okay and there's people like them. And then no expectation past that.
All right, so why don't we do one? Why don't I be the person? Would that work?
Sure.
If we do that?
Sure. And the idea is, Mark, and I know you have listeners, is I have like a system now that if there's other people like me who want to reach out, we could get them the email of the questions, and I could give them phone numbers.
Okay.
And this is truly an outreach. I know you have a lot of listeners. So.
Well, I have depression in my family, so I certainly know the frustration of somebody that is paralyzed mentally to not get out of the house.
Okay.
All right, so let's say, all right, you've called me, and what happens?
Well, generally, I'll call them, and I'll say, my name is Mike Garvey. I'm Homebound Buddies.
Mike who?
Oh.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it is. They need a hearing aid, and I'll have to say, turn up your hearing aid. Right. And then I'll say, I'm not trying to get money, because there's so many people preying on the disenfranchised in this country.
Sure, just hang up. Yeah. They'll just hang up on you.
So I have to earn their trust by saying, I'm not trying to get money. I'm trying to find out who you are. And then I say, what the mission statement of Homebound Buddies is to throw a lifeline to the lost souls of Los Angeles. I'll
now
say that.
I'm on the phone with you.
Okay.
Hi, Mike.
Hi,
Marc Maron.
I know, Mark. I got your number from the YMCA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you with the YMCA?
No, I'm not. I'm with an organization called Homebound Buddies.
I don't have any money.
You know what? I'm not looking for money. What I'm looking to do is just talk to you and ask you a few questions.
About what? I'm just here alone.
Well, pretty much anything you want to talk about. We'll take my questions and whatever you feel like talking about. I think I know what people who don't go outside want to talk about, because I've talked to a lot of those people.
You want to talk about television?
Well, let me ask you first.
Okay.
How are you today?
I'm okay. You know, my feet hurt, and you know, I sit too long.
Yeah. That's right. Right. You know what? I understand that. Did you? And then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the host of the show now. What I try to do is almost like an intervention. Try to case out where their health is at if there's an emergency, because they have other. You know, it's not irresponsible.
Sure.
I have a suicide hotline.
Yeah.
Et cetera. Healthcare facilities on my desk at all times. So now we're back in.
Okay, I'm back in the character. All
right. Did you eat something today?
I had a little breakfast. I had toast and half a bowl of cereal.
Good.
Oh, yeah. I think it was healthy.
Good. Did you have a bowel movement today?
What?
Did you have a bowel movement today?
I went. I did. I went.
Did you have more than one?
I don't think so. I would know that, but my memory's not so good. I definitely went once, because I remember I had to get up from the table during breakfast.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to describe your bowel movement. Was it watery with no solids?
What?
Was it watery with no solids?
My shit? No, it was fine. It was fine. I don't do it very often. You know, like every 2 days if I'm lucky, and usually they're good. I mean, that's one of the things
Would you describe it as being long with a smooth surface?
It took a little time.
Okay. So it took a little time. Okay,
yeah, so it probably was not...
Would you characterize it as a sausage with surface cracks?
What?
Like a sausagey one with surface cracks?
Yeah, maybe that's good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, like a little sausage.
Were the ends well defined? Were the ends well defined, or were they blobby?
The ends? Movement? I didn't spend a lot of time looking at it. Maybe I should look at it and call you back.
No. You can just try to remember it.
Oh yeah, it was good.
The more you talk about it, the better.
It was. You know, I pinched it off, and it had a nice tail on it.
Okay, was it fluffy with ragged edges?
All right, wait,
the tail.
This is getting me a little uncomfortable. I mean, I'm playing along here, but okay. So now we're on like the sixth question about the shit.
That's what people who are homebound have to talk about. And that is also very common. That's basically what unites us.
All right, but I mean, right out of the gate, I mean, he has two questions. There's no TV talk. There's no...
Mark, these are people who don't go to movies. They don't know who Britney Spears is. These are people who have sheltered, tragic lives. They don't know the hot restaurant.
Everyone has TV.
A lot of the shut-ins don't watch television. And what unifies us more than our bowel movements? Supermodels go to the bathroom. Tom Cruise goes to the bathroom. You know?
Okay, I understand that. Everybody shits, and you're saying that it's a humanizing thing.
Yeah,
this is your angle.
It is. It's the bond. It's the bond between all of us.
But does everybody talk that specifically about their shit? I can't imagine that you're calling...
Well, I happen to know a lot about bowel movements. You don't have to call them shit. I happen to know a lot about feces. So I can get a good gauge on their health, on their intestinal system, and... Quite frankly, I don't mind doing it.
Okay,
I don't mind talking about their bowel movements.
Well, that's clear. We just went through like 7 questions. Do you have more questions that aren't necessarily that specific? Like, where do we go from there?
Just the end is, can I call another time? What time?
What do you mean? Can you call another time? That's it. You asked all the questions. That was all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
You asked 2 questions about how I'm doing, and you asked 7 questions about my shit.
Yes.
Or bowel movement.
Your bowel movement. Yes, I did. Because I'm not sure what you're getting at, Mark.
What
I really
am I
don't. I'm not sure
what am I getting at?
I have an outreach service, okay? And I happen to relate to them because, yes, I had a bit of a fetish with feces when I was 20 to 25. and I understand what it's like to be an outcast. So I've taken my own illness and I've channeled it into something that serves the community. And I don't think I'm an oddball or a weirdo or I'm obsessed with it. I'm having a human adult conversation with people, quite frankly, don't mind talking about their shits.
Okay.
Easy. They don't mind
talking. All right, just take it easy. All right, just take it easy.
Well, you attacked me.
I know I did.
I went through this in high school, and I had poop on my hands, yes.
What do you mean?
We've all had poop on our hands when we were children, and what's the difference if you're 18 if you're 5?
What are you doing with poop on your hands? In high school?
I had poop on my hands because I touched my own poop.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
right now what I do, I am so tired of this country making fun and making light of what... It is completely normal to have a curiosity about your own feces, to be grounded, and to touch what came out.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
I understand.
I enjoy it, Mark.
Okay.
And you know what? The people I talk to on the phone do not mind it.
Okay.
And I do a service to them.
Okay. All right, Michael. I understand, and I appreciate you being here.
Do you really?
I do, and I wish you the best of luck with your endeavor.
Homeboundbuddies.com is a great way to get a hold of us.
Okay. Okay, that's our show. I really got to get someone booking this thing because I just can't seem to pick them.